Welcome to Shit and Giggle, a podcast on the road. We'll make you laugh and cry. Please subscribe and download. For those easily offended, we hope that you get AIDS.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Shit and Giggle podcast. I know you see that we've already poured a beer. We had a tad bit of a technical issue, but that's okay.
Tad bit.
Because we are back and ready to roll.
Ready to roll. Rock and roll.
As you can see.
Rolling Stones.
Yes.
Roly-poly-oly.
More?
More what?
You have another one? Roll something? Roll Tide. Oh, Roll Tide.
Roll Tide.
Roll Tide.
Roll Tide.
Anyways.
There used to be a coworker, by the way, that was a big Alabama fan.
Autobots, roll out.
No, listen. I used to have a friend, not really a friend, an acquaintance. He was kind of an asshole. I used to work with at my last job, and he would walk in every day going, "Roll Tide, people! Roll Tide! Roll Tide! Alabama, roll Tide!" And it's like, you're in Ohio. But
right.
He just loved Alabama so much. So every day that he went up, he like bro hugged us all, gave a big hug to the ladies, and he's like, "Hey, baby, roll Tide. What's up, bruh? Roll Tide." And it was just, everything was Roll Tide.
Now,
his favorite words were "shit and me," like
"Are you
shitting me?" or "hell nah," which was great. It's like, "Hey, you doing all right?" He's like, "Hell nah, ain't doing all right." Good guy. Bad guy. Great guy. Bad guy.
The guy.
Same
guy.
We can cut all that out.
Okay, but to preface the beer, Kurt brought a Mad Tree pumpkin spice cider, and I will redo the voice again if I can do it. I don't know if I can.
Go for it.
Pumpkin. Spiced ale with cinnamon, nutmeg, ginger, allspice, and molasses. Alcohol by volume 7.9. Tap in. It's a beer. It's a can. It's a pumpkin.
Me and Brian love using Anchor. It's the easiest way to make a podcast. We can edit on the go. It's a free system. And then after we're done, we can just straight upload to Spotify and anywhere you listen to a podcast. Go ahead and head over to anchor.fm and you'll see what we're talking about. So we've all been kind of had this sickness where the back of our throat hurt. And it was kind of like in one area. And it was almost like a pin, sort of like pain. My wife described the same feeling or whatever in the back of her throat.
Right.
And now he's got it. But, of course, because he's got really bad asthma,
it just
everything
intensifies.
is over-exacerbated. And, of course, Jason is a kid that if you don't take him serious, he gets very emotional. For example, I call him a butt. Every once in a while, I'll be like, "You're acting like a butt." And I do that because I'm not going to say...
the A word.
Like ass?
Yeah.
Anyway, but it's just, if someone were to call him that, someone else, he would go, "I'm not a butt," and he would get really hurt. And then, like, there was one time where he was like upset, and I went to go tickle him and play with him, and he just starts bawling, crying, and it's like, really? Just go to your room if you're gonna act like that. So I don't doubt that he's not feeling good,
right? But
also at the same time, it's like, but also, it's. I remember being, I think, 14 and telling my dad to take me to the hospital, and my dad was just like, "Just go to bed," and I was in so much pain. Like, I had a remote control, like one of those old like dish remotes, and I broke it in half. I was just like agitated. I was like, "Dad, please take me to the damn hospital." Of course, my dad starts getting mad and starts going off on everybody about how nothing related to my pain at all. He's just blaming everybody and getting mad or whatever.
Right.
And then they take me to the hospital and they do like an MRI, X-ray or whatever it is. And they go, "Yeah, your son has appendicitis. And we got to take him in right now or his appendix will burst."
And he could die.
Yeah. And my dad was just like, "Wow, I guess you weren't kidding, were you?" And I'm like,
like, "No, asshole."
No. And I remember, man, that was a crazy time. My dad felt really bad after that.
I bet.
I mean, you should... At the end of the day, no matter what anybody says, you should always believe your kids. But at the same time, it's like when you get to know your kids, certain attitudes and how they act and stuff like that.
And there's definitely times when they over-exaggerate.
Yeah. Hope he's okay.
Yeah. He should be fine.
Yeah.
But on that note,
Yep.
a new segment that a lot of people have asked for.
That was a bummer.
What?
That brought my mood like right down to
Well,
bleh.
I hope Kanye West can bring your mood back up.
That's why he's called Kanye.
More like Kanye. So he was on an Alex Jones interview. And
Alex Jones is the host of InfoWars. He's been pulled off YouTube and all sorts of different sites. And I do believe like in the, free speech. But also you have to take into account that these private companies are in control of their property and everything like that. So a lot of people were like, oh, they're blocking his free speech. And it's like, no, YouTube took down his hate speech and his lies. The government didn't do that.
Yeah. So his new thing when he got on Alex Jones is he quoted, and I quote, "I like Hitler." And later on made the comment of, "I love Jewish people. I love Nazis." And I don't agree with that. And I don't understand why he would be that way. Like, the comment doesn't make any sense to me. His reasoning baffles me. I don't understand what's going on. But the biggest part is Elon Musk then followed by suspending his Twitter and deleted his Twitter. Yeah.
That's amazing because he let... I don't want to get political, but, there's a couple of people of the very far right-wing sort of side that are back on. I think Marjorie Taylor Greene, who is from Georgia, who has said also some very anti-Semitic things, claimed that I believe, I could be wrong, but that fires were caused by Jewish space lasers.
Space lizards? Jewish space lizards?
Well, there's also that conspiracy which Alex Jones believes in.
The lizard people?
Yeah, there's lizards, Anunnaki, ancient Sumerians, all that shit.
Right.
But like Kanye West talking about making anti-Semitic remarks is not something that's new necessarily to the industry.
Well, no,
it's very new for Kanye.
Well, yes, yeah, it's very left field. Mm-hmm. But I can't put a pin on a time frame that would he didn't ease into it.
Right.
It just came out of nowhere.
It did.
And that's what baffles me is he is a very intelligent person. Let's be clear, very intelligent person, a businessman. Mm-hmm. He does good of things he gets behind. Mm-hmm. But it's just some of the things he says is doesn't make any sense.
Of course, I'm very much under the I get it, Kanye is even self-professed genius and has done a lot in the music industry and is one of the top artists. Yeah. He's incredibly rude.
Absolutely.
Remember Taylor Swift when he got up on stage and interrupted her, and he's got a sense of just arrogance, if you will. Not
almost
to say
entitlement.
Yeah, but also entitlement. Yeah, but also to say that it's not like he's the only artist that has that. But getting back to the anti-Semitic stuff, it's amazing what's gone on right wing politically, because he's talking to the former president, talking about running for president. I don't know if you knew about that, where he talked to Donald Trump about running for president.
I wish I could pull up that. Let me see if I could find that. So I had a TikTok that I'd found, and he goes on to say, and I quote, that I can't find it, man. He goes on. He goes, they were gonna try to arrest him and throw him in jail.
Arrest who?
Kanye, They were attempting to make a lawsuit that would put Kanye in jail, and I can't find the article or the TikTok. So.
Jail or like under supervision?
No jail.
But what
and he goes, "Well, I can still run for president in prison."
But what would they?
I don't remember what it was on. There's some lawsuit against him right now. I think it's from Adidas because a new thing that just surfaced. He was showing people pornographic films. Mm-hmm. And, like, showing them to him unwillingly, like, they didn't consent to it or anything. He was just walking around showing people porn in the middle of the Adidas workplace.
That's interesting.
Yeah, and
what
so...
What kind of porn?
Huh?
What kind of porn?
I don't know. Dog? Seems like something he'd do.
Why would he have dog porn?
It's Kanye West.
Kanye West is not a terrible human being. He's just
fucked up in the head.
Some awful shit.
And he's messed up in the head.
And also, not everybody that looks at dog porn is a terrible human being. I'm not laughing.
Anyway.
Yep.
So, one thing I want to talk about today is I saw something online.
I'm surprised you didn't play that dumbass news song.
No, that's coming. So one thing that I wanted to talk about today, right, is TV shows. Specifically, stuff that you watched as a child. That you're sad that it's now gone.
Very good.
Yes. Now, the reason that this surfaced,
okay.
It came across my TikTok the other day. Everybody knows, and everybody out there can contest, Ned's Declassified School Survival Guide hits home. It's home.
It's a great show.
Now, I forget his name, the character who played Ned, the actor who played Ned.
Yep.
Went back to, I think it was Nickelodeon, right?
It was Nickelodeon.
Went back to Nickelodeon and tried to do Ned's Declassified Adult Survival Guide for how to survive as an adult.
Oh, interesting.
They denied it. They said no, which is stupid.
Yeah.
Because he had a full script. He said we could do it on a season. Everybody wanted to come back. All 3 top lead of the cast members.
To me, that sounds like a Paramount or
absolutely.
Netflix idea.
But instead, just recently has released Ned's Declassified Podcast Survival Guide. They are a podcast. All 3 leading actors from I passed on my thing, and that made me think.
That's great.
It was awesome. Mm-hmm. I'm definitely going to start listening to it. They don't sponsor us or anything, but go check it out. It sounds so cool. I had a
science teacher named Mr. Stanton that reminded me exactly of their science teacher, like to a T. His attitude and everything.
But like that just made me think of like, you know, things that you watched as a kid or growing up, or even like shows that like you used to watch with your kids that you miss or got really sad that they went off air. We can go far back as from when you were a kid to growing up. What are some TV shows, Kurt, that you miss that just disappeared off the air for no good reason?
Well, I'll tell you what shows I don't miss. Little House on the Prairie and Looney Tunes.
I thought you loved that one.
And we talked about this.
I thought
that's all I watched as a kid. I mean, it's not that I don't like Looney Tunes, but going back not knowing any better, you're aware that like right before they were doing the Space Jam movie with LeBron, that they basically quote unquote canceled Pepe Le Pew.
Yes.
Because he was overbearing and
technically wasn't rapey. It technically no, it was the reason that they canceled him because they felt like what's the right word? He groomed women. Yeah, basically, right? Is that right terminology?
Yeah, I think so. But also, when you go back and you watch the old cartoons, like I showed you the Bugs Bunny one.
Oh, yeah.
That one's before Elmer Fudd.
Right.
And when you watch that, you start to realize that almost every Elmer Fudd early cartoon that they did was basically the white version of the racist caricature that they made.
Oh, yeah.
So they remade that cartoon.
Which, do you want to preface what Elmer Fudd you're talking about?
What do you mean?
Because technically wasn't Elmer Fudd technically African American starting out?
No. I don't think that character had a name. But
he was technically Elmer Fudd. Like
he was technically Elmer
the hunter
Fudd.
of the rabbit.
Yeah.
And then they developed Elmer Fudd.
Yeah. And this is really fucked up. but is a little black child with a shotgun. And he's, I'm not making this up, he's going, I'm going to catch me a rabbit.
I just wanted you to preface because a lot of people may not know this. If you look it up, it is true.
Yeah.
And it is
very
astonishing about how, one, they got away with that of putting that on the air at one point.
Yeah. But, Brian, you also have to think about the time that it came out.
Obviously, but like, it's... Yeah.
I mean, if it came out now, obviously... But also, it's...
Cartoon Network would have been shut down.
Yeah, also, but you also have to think, like, people back in the day, almost everybody was racist.
Yeah.
I'm not making an excuse for any of that. But, for us, it's very shocking. But back in the day, that was a normal thing.
Right.
Just like, you're watching Three Stooges or Laurel and Hardy. I mean, not Laurel and Hardy, but Marx Brothers movies and older films that feature black characters as, maybe like servants, like people that work in the house and stuff like that. And they have this, oh dear God, sort of really stereotypical racist and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Let's get off that.
So what, any shows of your kids that you watching with your kids that you kind of miss?
Well, so when I was younger, the biggest thing would be to go to my grandparents' house, and they had all the old Disney VHS tapes, the plastic, big gigantic plastic ones.
I was at my dad's. They have 2 full totes of Disney movies.
That's great.
In mint condition.
And you won't get much money for them.
Sadly.
But there was something just very nostalgic about opening it up instead of sliding out a cardboard sleeve.
Right,
like some VHS
that little
tapes
puffiness on the plastic. Do you know what the orange ones were?
Nickelodeon.
There you go.
Yep.
Blue?
Mm-mm.
Blue's Clues. Blue's Clues had blue VHS tapes.
But, so there were movies that I watched at my grandparents' house, like Sword in the Stone, which was one of my favorite movies. I forgot about that. Shrek. Was the VHS Shreks.
Because that was right on the conversion into the kind of DVDs, wasn't it?
Yeah, but the thing was, that wasn't Disney. That was DreamWorks.
Yeah.
So there was quite a few companies that had that very puffy sort of thing. But as far as growing up on a cartoon that...
we don't even have to talk about cartoons. We're talking about TV shows in general.
Well, this was a TV show. King of the Hill was... I loved King of the Hill.
That's still going on.
A lot of... No, it ended a while ago.
Really? I didn't know.
So
I haven't watched.
They ended up canceling King of the Hill, but it was in its 9th season, I believe, when they canceled it.
Do you know why?
No. But what's unfortunate is that you look at The Simpsons. The Simpsons should have ended 10 years ago. I love The Simpsons, and that was my favorite show growing up with my grandfather. And I would... we used to also watch Late Night with Conan O'Brien. And... in The Simpsons, some of the early episodes, you would see Conan O'Brien credited because he was a writer on The Simpsons before he got the late night talk show gig. He was actually a writer for Saturday Night Live, then went over and did The Simpsons. And while they were doing The Simpsons, he was approached by Lorne Michaels of NBC to, try out for the Late Show in an audition, and he got it. But yeah, King of the Hill ended, and I think that was really unfortunate because unlike Simpsons and Family Guy, American Dad, and all those shows, King of the Hill was more relatable. You could see Hank, you could understand Hank, and Hank wasn't necessarily prejudiced, but he didn't want to offend or hurt anybody, but at the same time, he was just a good old American guy who really just wanted to raise his family right. He had his son. He doesn't believe in whipping, but, his son's got all these ambitions. And he goes to church. He's got a neighbor that's Laotian, and he's got a neighbor that's also a conspiracy theorist, a neighbor that's gone through a terrible divorce and it still affects him, and then he's got a playboy or bachelor, whatever style guy that's just got women constantly coming and going out of his house. but you also in the show you dealt with loss, you dealt with lying, stealing, and also all sorts of different things that you could relate to. And that show ended. That's a very very unfortunate. I love watching that show with my kids.
I actually just found out why.
Why King of the Hill ended?
Yeah.
Why is that?
Ratings. They plummeted.
Yeah, but I don't understand
But
that.
that's one of the only reasons. The other reason was they were trying to clear a spot for the Cleveland show, which sucks because what's no longer on.
Yeah, Cleveland show, one season.
Yep.
And that's the thing about, yeah.
It wasn't one season.
It was
more than that.
What, Cleveland show?
It was like 3.
Yeah, it was like 3 or 4.
Oh, really?
But like
I
they
didn't
just,
enjoy
it was
it.
so, they were trying to.
They essentially mimicked Family Guy.
Well, it was because Family Guy was on a downhill slope, and so they were like, well, let's bump it up by making a runoff with Cleveland show.
Mm-hmm.
But then Cleveland show didn't do anything. Family Guy went back up, and they said, screw that, let's focus all our time on Family Guy. But like, what sucks is like every show has its up and downs.
Mm-hmm.
They have, it's a curve, all the
Right.
time. I feel like if they would have kept going, it probably would have been fine. And what sucks is like they got rid of it to make room for a show that lasted 3 seasons. How many seasons of King of the Hill were there?
It was like 9, I think.
Why?
And Simpsons has like 30.
In all honesty, they should stop.
Yeah. That and SpongeBob.
But SpongeBob, they keep redeveloping because before, back in when we were kids, there's a lot of adult innuendos that, on all honesty, I still love going back and looking because I'm like, if I were to watch these, like, they're funny.
Yeah.
And now it's like, they're all right. But they're more for kids now. They're more really geared towards kids. Because a lot of our shows when we were younger are very, looking back now, are like, I was allowed to watch this?
Right.
Like Ren and Stimpy.
Oh, yeah. Whoa.
Like we're in
That's a great. Or what's the
Cat Dog, isn't it?
what's the little alien guy?
Invader Zim.
Yeah. That's
But Ugly Martians was out for a little
Right.
bit.
Mr. Meaty was made for adults. It was a little puppet show.
I loved that
It was
show.
so good. It was
Mr.
so
Meaty.
good. My big show that I miss,
The Worm.
and I was so sad. Drake and Josh. I loved that show. It hit so home for me.
I think that's what that's the great thing about cartoons is that they could stay,
Immortal, really.
basically.
But like Drake and Josh, for example, like they started out as kids, and you watched them grow, and they did come back later on, and they did where they met up, and they were older, and they had moved out, and it was nice. But like it did suck because they ended it when they could have probably kept going because they were still teenagers, I think, when they stopped. There was that, and then obviously Ned's Declassified was fantastic.
Right.
I loved that show. And that, if I'm correct, didn't that just end? Like they were still kids. Like
Yeah, it was like 2 or 3 seasons.
yeah, and there was no, I don't know the reason, but it ended so abruptly, which is
You remember
crazy.
what was that show that Jamie Spears was on? What was that show called? Zoe.
Zoe 101.
That show ended because she got pregnant.
But
What's up?
there's a new show
I won't support it.
that it piggybacks, and what are the 2 guys on there? The main guys?
The ones that were her friends?
Yes.
Chase, and I don't remember the other one.
They meet up at a bar while Chase is on a date, and they found Zoe's tape. And it was conveniently 10 years after she said that she'd show it to him. And they get to see it because she moved away, which was kind of cool. It was
it
a
a
nod.
sex tape?
No, it's not a sex tape.
They talked about revamping Zoe 101 a bit,
No.
but it's a lot of the actors said that they won't go back.
Let's be clear. There is one show that did an amazing job at a runoff, or if you would call it almost a reboot,
Okay, what is that?
Boy Meets World. Boy Meets World was fantastic.
Never watched it.
Okay, yeah, but it was fantastic, right?
I watched Little House on the Prairie.
I know you watched Little House on the Prairie. What if it was like Little Condo on the Hill? Like it was like a reboot. Little Trailer Park in down by the river. Or
You said condo.
Yeah.
little condo
On the hill.
On the hill.
Yeah. But so
I think that was with Kathy Lee Bates.
Boy Meets World made a new show called Girl Meets World, and it's when Topanga and Corey are both adults. They have kids, and it's fantastic. Like it's great, and they brought back all the old cast and everything, and they're even bringing back slowly bringing back more of the old cast, and it's fantastic. Like it's fresh. It doesn't feel like they're rewriting things. Now there's another show that I don't even know if it's still on, but everybody remembers Full House. They came back with Fuller House,
right?
And it had not as much of the full cast on there. It was mostly just the girls. I think, oh boy.
I watched it.
What was the guy's name who passed away recently?
Bob Saget.
Yes, I hate that I forgot his name. Bob Saget, I don't think came on there. He was on there.
Jesse, Joey, and the dad, I don't remember his name in the series, but it was who Bob Saget played.
Yeah.
They all wore pop-up characters. So
they weren't
not part of the.
They weren't consistent actors.
It was about the sisters. So
right.
Stephanie, DJ, and Kimmy.
I think it's terrible. I think that they did a poor job. Now, one show that I think would be really cool to remake, Family Matters.
I don't know why.
Granted, you couldn't have the police officer because he passed away.
I knew you were going to say that for some reason.
I think an adult Urkel would be so hilarious.
Oh, come on, Laura.
Dude, it'd be so funny.
Honestly.
They couldn't really do Fresh Prince of Bel-Air because...
no, they're redoing it, actually.
Well, they're redoing
Will
it...
Smith has his own hand in it.
Yeah.
I'm sure he did, just like with Chris Rock.
That was good.
Yeah.
But they are remaking it, but it's a different type of version. So Will Smith is now the narrator, and he picked a different cast. I'm talking about a whole reboot, kind of like Fuller House to Full House. It's the whole same cast with the whole Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. It's going to be a whole different cast. I think it'd be cool. Let's bring back Urkel. Let's do that. That'd be so cool. We can pay homage to the police officer, but I forget his name. I just saw that can.
I know it's Carl, but
yes.
You know another good one?
What?
My Wife and Kids. Because it got canceled in season 5.
It's our new show that we watch right now.
It got canceled in season 5 on a cliffhanger because Jay found out she was pregnant again, and then it ended.
Now, what would be cool
for no reason.
If they brought them back, all of the cast, and they showed juniors as an adult? That'd be cool.
Well, all the kids grown up, but now the issues that Jay and Michael face now, that they help their kids face.
Right.
Because the only one that I wouldn't bring back from that era is Everybody Hates Chris.
Oh yeah, no. Unless they made Chris Rock the adult, and they could make his dad Will Smith and just beat the shit out of him all the time. But yeah.
Will Smith,
you look like
Will Smith's character didn't know his father that well, though, if you recall. It was
Uncle
Phil.
Oh, dude, that one episode where he's like, I don't need him anyways. He didn't teach me basketball.
That was all improv.
Oh, I know, but the crying.
That's how you saw the actual emotion.
Gets me every time I watch
it.
Dude,
that episode specifically, every time.
Yeah, and with what's his name, Uncle Phil? Will. That's my Uncle Phil impression. Anyway,
he just holds him.
Do you know what this is?
I saw Elvis juice.
Brewdog.
Oh, we love Brewdog.
So we love Brewdog. Great.
Hang on, wait.
Infused.
We don't have a brew. This is our first Brewdog up here. Slide me it.
It's also an Ohio beer.
Slide it to me.
Oh, Jinx.
You owe me a beer.
Jinx.
What the fuck? All right, ready?
All right, ready?
Hey, Kurt, I need your best Elvis impression on this can.
I can't stand Elvis.
You have to.
What's...
Just read the front of the can.
Brewdog, Elvis juice. I don't do an
United
Elvis impression.
we stand for better beer, fiercely defiant and independent.
Constipated too.
Constipated. 6.5 grapefruit infused IPA. Elvis juice. You ready for this?
Elvis juice. Yeah.
Now, uh-oh. Breaking news.
Oh, please.
Now, this happened. When did this happen?
Are we going to pour a drink first?
We're going to pour while we talk. I have been holding this news in for the longest time. This happened on November 30th. I think it was right after our last episode. Can anybody guess where it happened?
So it's not news, it's old.
But it's a big deal. Now, it is kind of sad towards the end, but it's very chaotic. Can anybody guess where's the craziest place in the United States?
Right now?
No, in general. Always got the weird news.
Florida.
SUV crashes into Florida Phantom fireworks, sparking huge fire and setting off every firework in the building. So on the 30th.
Must have been a pretty show.
Right.
Oh, it is like when I say it set off, it's pew 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 through the whole thing. Now, let me read. 53-year-old driver had rear-ended another vehicle on Monday before plowing into the Phantom Fireworks shop, igniting rockets and touching off a series of explosions. It was wild. I couldn't believe how close people were to it. As the fireworks were blowing up, Palm Bay resident Richard Griffin told the newspaper. The mortars and stuff like that, things went 100 yards or more when you shot them straight into the air. So you've got these mortars and all kinds of stuff and fireworks shooting all over the place. 5,573 square feet of the store was destroyed.
Yeah.
Sadly, the driver passed away. That's where it ends. In
At least he went out with a bang.
Now, I'm going to play this for you. I've already seen it.
You hear what I said?
What?
At
Ends
least
with a bang. Yeah.
Yeah, without.
No, hang on.
Nothing for that?
Ooh.
Nothing for that?
That Sorry, here. Amazing. Say it again. Say it again.
No.
No, say it again.
No.
Say it again.
It again.
Say it again.
It again.
Say your line again.
Your line again.
So this is the fire.
Okay.
Where's the firework part of the video?
You drink your drink?
I am in a minute. There's a video of these fireworks that I want you to see. Like, you just watch them just going off. Oh, there it is. There it is. There's a more chaotic one, dude, and we're talking like red, white, and boom, full-blown fireworks in the middle of the store. Let that one off with a bang, didn't we?
Really? You're going to try to steal my line?
Oh, did they all laugh? Didn't you hear that?
Brian, don't add laughter later. We're not performing in front of a live...
What was that, Daffy?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Cheers.
We're not performing in front of a live studio audience.
They don't know that. Cheers.
I do.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh, I'm not a live studio audience? Okay, fuck you too, Kurt.
Oh, audience is plural, isn't it?
Yeah, it is plural.
Audient.
That's good. How do you feel about that? It's very grapefruity. Like,
well, it's grapefruit infused.
Yeah, but you could go with it being a grapefruit IPA.
Now, not necessarily every IPA that you drink is a grapefruit IPA.
No, but this one is.
Yeah, but surprisingly, it seems very light.
Right.
This is an easy drink.
Okay.
I can drink this really easy.
Right. But I think that's it for this episode. Yeah. Check us all out at Shit and Giggle. Instagram. SHTAND Giggle. And then for those who are having trouble finding us on YouTube, Shit and Giggle Podcast. All 4 words, no spaces. You search us up on there. We should be the first video to pop up. We have one up right now. It was Friendsgiving. We will have these 2 episodes up as well.
These 2 episodes?
Yeah.
How do they know we're doing 2 episodes right now?
Because we're going to do one right after this.
Okay.
They know that.
All right.
And we should be posting. The goal is to get a routine going of one on Monday, one on Thursday.
Let's end it.
So, all right, everybody. Catch you on the next one.